In a way, it's a little amazing that they actually decided to tell Shin the so called true story, although the story itself carries a vaguenesses into it. In fact, this entire story is just there to make us question, is it like that or is it not like that? It's not exactly true. What is true, though, is that someone took the truth to their grave, or someone planted a seed of doubt just to spite the O family. Whatever the truth is, what Orson may blame Ohon with is not just the fact that Orson could very well not be his son, but for a more serious accusation. An accusation that is actually very common for parents to blame their children for. That when their beloved dies in childbirth. It's very typical for a father uh, then to blame their children for that. Yes, this is the Kingdom chapter 577, and of course Shin approaches, asks of all this. At first they refuses to say, but strangely enough, the adjutant, the mustache guy, is actually the one to tell it all. Of course, he still insults Shin with everything else, but the fact that um, uh, he does tell is actually pretty strange. I guess that is just to show how severe the case really is right now. Because, or maybe he is saying something like if the people around Hosama who knew his struggles were to disappear, that alone cannot be. So he's just saying that he needs to place this into someone who carries the same path as Ohun. Well, who cares and who knows, really. Either way, they tell the story. Ohun's mother's name was Shuke-sama, and apparently a jewel from a family called the Khan. She was a woman of incredible intelligence, education, as well as beauty. And of course, the O family was just as magnificent. So when those two families joined together, of course, there was a big party. And not long after, Shuke was then pregnant, which was Hon-sama. I mean, Ohon. So it's at least clear that Shuke was Ohon's mother. But before the birth, a very strange rumor spread. It was almost a rumor that was cliche, but apparently that Shuke had a lover before her marriage to Osam, and she refused to even say a word on the matter. And more than that, she couldn't reveal the truth, even if it was, because because she died giving birth to Ohon. So what Osen is actually mm, uh, so even if it is true that Ohon is not Osen's son, what really Osen is blaming Ohon for is the fact that not only is the fact that Ohon could be a stranger, but more for the fact that it was a complete stranger that took the life of his beloved wife. That is the real reason why Awesome hates, maybe dislikes Ohon. I find it pretty strange that a man like Awesome could actually love someone. And when I say love someone, I mean Shuke. Either way, we switch to Karyuten, who is still being panicking as usual, because we then hear that the Akko army no longer have any food left to distribute, and their reserves, the Shishin, last only for 2 days. As day 11 happens, Karyutan has of course once again heard another breakdown, saying that now that they have no stamina and the Sao army is not attacking, what are they gonna do now? No idea. Because she doesn't know what to do, and she is not mm, and the fact that Osen is not doing it at the headquarters remains tight. But then Shin tells Ten to look up as Ohon charged against the army, saying something like, Ten feels this is pointless, but Shin is pointing out that if the enemy is not taking them seriously because of their depleting stuff, then charging in and fight is still something that can become strong. As Shin's saying, even though he's some young lord from some noble family, he's fighting back. So I mean that means Shin will not tell everyone what he has just heard. In the end, I guess he acknowledges Ohon, although Ohon does not deserve to be acknowledged. But once again, we have the thing that I really dislike about this arc. Karyoten. 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 She's supposed to be a strategy. She is supposed to be the one to pull everything. And yet she is the one and almost only in this Hishin unit that has actually had a breakdown of emotionality and is actually getting nervous. Even Jon Tawawa pointed it out way before this campaign even started. She's too panicking. And honestly, it's annoying. I mean, I know why she is panicking. It's because she is thinking logically. She's a logical strategic. She feels things in a different way, which in a way makes her a great strategist. But I'm still feeling pretty pissed off that she has to feel this way. So, but Shin, and it's the fact that Shin is pointing out that if the Sao is looking down on them, they still should charge against them because that's the way to fight. So even though that's basically this chapter, no big information, no. Well, the big information was the mystery about Ohon's birth. We don't know if he's an illegitimate child, and even if he was, it wouldn't matter. So in a way, I would call this just a despair chapter. Just how is Queen the right army gonna win? Their food supplies are over. Give me a freaking hope already! It's basically this chapter. But you can give me your thoughts if you have any.